right, so we're here for our first ever, Let's Go Wells interview with the women's basketball head coach, Tara Ruckh. Tara, thank you.
No, thank you.
Of course. So basically what we wanted to start with is kind of getting to know you a little bit. So maybe some recruits will see this. Other people on campus will see this.
Sure.
So start with kind of how you got here and a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Hi, thanks for having me on.
Of course.
This is my 6th year at Wells College. Previous to that, I guess I can start from the beginning. I was a student athlete at SUNY Cortland, played 4 years there, was a captain my junior and senior year. Upon graduation from there, I ended up as an assistant while I was finishing some credits and starting my master's at Cortland. I was assistant there for 1 year. I was also the head JV coach at the time. And I had a teaching degree in physical education, and I was going to apply that and get a job teaching. And over that next summer, I got a phone call from a former head coach of mine at Ithaca College, who is now at Ithaca College. He was a former head coach when I was at Cortland. Just got the head coaching job at Ithaca. Said, "Hey, are you interested in being my assistant coach?" I said, "What's that like?"
Maybe,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So I said, "Oh, tell me what that means." And just kind of the day-to-day stuff. And right at the time, it was like, end of college years, what's the salary kind of look like type of
Right.
thing. And it was kind of an equivalent of what a starting teaching salary would be. So I said, all right, let's give that a whirl. Mm-hmm. And if that doesn't work out, I can still do the teaching gig and all that kind of stuff. So worked out great. I was there for 5 years. We were very successful. We had some NCAA championship, not champions, but in the tournament run, did some pretty good wins. And I met Director Lindbergh, Wells College athletic director there. He was the associate athletic director at Ithaca College and our direct report. So I got to know him very well. Mm-hmm. And then I was there for 5 years, and I had that I think I can do this feeling. And one of the assistants that I worked with at the time that was a men's assistant coach had got the head coaching job at SUNY Potsdam. Called me up, said, "Hey, there's a position open here if you're interested in trying out or applying to it. I think you would do a pretty good job." Applied to it, got the job. Worked there 11 years with him, which was great too because both programs work so closely together, as you know, men's, women's, and it's great to work with somebody that you really like and admire and think that they do a good job. So we had a pretty good run there for a while. Ended up at Wells College after 11 years there. Director Lindbergh called me up, said, "Hey, I got a job for you.
That's right.
You're interested?"
For the uninitiated,
Right.
Mike Lindbergh is
yeah.
our athletic director.
Yeah. And gave me a shout and said, "Hey, are you interested in a position here?" And I always loved, when I worked at Ithaca, I loved this area, and I went to school at Cortland from Western New York originally. And I was happy to return to the area and been here now for those last 6 years.
Yeah, everyone kind of gets where they're going and maybe a route that they don't think they're going to take.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Especially on the coaching side.
Yep.
So you said you got calls from various people. I know from other coaches I've talked to and had conversations with, they all kind of take bits and pieces from coaches they've had before.
Yeah, right.
Do you have any, coaching idols or coaching inspirations that you think you really kind of model yourself after,
for sure.
or philosophies maybe that you
Yeah,
have?
I think that's really true. I kind of feel like a hybrid of a lot of my coaches. There's definitely coaches that you work with that you're like, "Ooh, I don't want to do it like that,"
Yeah.
And that's something where you kind of store that in the back of your mind and know that you might want to handle a situation differently. But my high school coach, we were very successful in high school. I won 3 state championships while I was there. He was a history teacher, and I really liked his style. And then when I got to Cortland, I had actually 3 head coaches while I was there. So that was quite the turnaround. I think as a player, it's hard,
Right.
and I feel it when players have to go through that at the college level. You're relying on this person to kind of be your support staff, and then when it changes over, you're getting used to having this relationship with that person that's helping you through your college life, and then all of a sudden you have somebody new to kind of also reestablish yourself athletically. I got to show what I have, so I can still make this team and all that kind of stuff. So I had some really good coaches in those programs as well. One of those being, like I said, the head coach at Ithaca now. He was my head coach for 1 year. My senior year, my head coach, Jeanette Mosier, somebody very influential to me as far as she was no nonsense, and I thought that the style that she coached, that was how I kind of wanted to coach as well. The coach before her, Dan Raymond at Ithaca College, is a little bit the opposite of that. So I actually feel like I've blended those two styles together to try to make me the best coach that I could be. So it was probably those two were the ones that are most influential on my coaching styles and that type of thing. I still talk to Jeanette these days when I'm feeling like I need to reach out to somebody for some ideas, and I reach out to Dan as well, and they're both really good role models for me to kind of still be in touch with. So.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, yeah, the coaching networks just kind of continue to build.
Oh, yeah,
and,
for sure.
kind of basically like the more teams you play, kind of the more people you meet.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone kind of helps each other. Usually people are willing to help each other.
Oh, for sure. And I've been really lucky. I've had a lot of really great jobs. I've met a lot of really great people. I was lucky enough for 4 years to be the chair of the East Region for women's basketball for Division III. Mm-hmm. And through that, there's 8 chairs in the nation. I met coaches from other places and built relationships with those people. And again, it's that networking. If you need something, you have somebody to bounce ideas off of. If you're looking for a job, you know people who know people. And I think in the coaching world, like that's a lot of places too. It's like sometimes it's not necessarily what you know, it's who you know. And I think if you're able to build those relationships with people and you work hard and it pays off. You know, it's something that I know that a lot of the jobs I was able to get so far have been because of who I am and my work ethic, but also who I know. You know, so that's something that's been beneficial for me for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You mentioned you were here, or you've been here for 6 years, right?
Yep.
Do you have a favorite memory from here, like a favorite Wells kind of maybe game experience?
Yeah, I mean, we were pretty good when I got here. We had a player named Sheeta Cooper, who was a very good player for us, Carly Ryan, Shelby Medovich, Kamari Maturine. We've had some really talented players when I got here, so I felt like I walked into a program that was pretty established. We did pretty well. I think we fell short of playoffs that year, but we won some pretty good games and kind of set the tone for where we kind of wanted the program to go. You know, last couple of years we've struggled with roster sizes and that type of thing, so it's something where, you know, trying to build that back up and get back to a place where we were, you know, 5 or 6 years ago. And I think that's the scope of basketball sometimes, is it ebbs and flows a little bit. But through my 6 years here, I think the biggest thing that I've taken from here is not just from athletics, but also just the campus community and that type of thing. As far as just, I really enjoy my relationships that I have with non-basketball students, you know, just other student athletes, other students that might have in my classes, the faculty and staff that I've been able to connect with. And I think that's, for me, like, that's the favorite part of the job, is the people.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been here that long, just a couple months so far, but even just working the games, you see a lot of the staff come to the games and like to be involved and see kind of how the student athletes, or usually they're students, are doing and how things are going.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you talk about a little bit about this year's team and kind of what you see as maybe pros and cons moving forward?
Yeah, I think we're really young. I mean, if you look at our roster, we have one senior who's actually in her 3rd year, you know, so it's something where she's graduating early, good for her. I guess she got her work in and all that, but we're really young. And last year with COVID, we didn't really have a great amount of time to spend together. We had 6 freshmen last year, and we played 5 weeks, and 3 of those were 3 practices a week with masks and not playing, you know, with defense. And we were able to put in 4 games. So I think it was good to kind of get our feet wet, and also to for those freshmen who are now sophomores to not just get disinterested in basketball. You know, I think it would be easy to just kind of walk away from it if you didn't have that experience of just like a taste of what it's like to be in college and play basketball and stuff. So, and then this year with more freshmen, I mean, we're still trying to develop, you know, and we've had some highs and lows, but I think it's something where as we continue to develop every year, I think we're gonna see improvement, you know, year after year.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, a very young team.
Yeah.
So how do you, I guess, starting this year with a lot of the first year or sophomores, whichever they may be, how do you start to kind of build that buy-in? I mean, we're not really a huge school where people are going to leave after for like to go to like a higher league or anything like that. So how do you kind of build that buy-in and get everyone to build or kind of get on board with what you're trying to teach them and the philosophies and systems going forward?
I think a lot of it is the team chemistry. I think that's an important part of it. Early on, we were doing. We're lucky that we have players on our roster that play more than one sport, but also sometimes it's hard because you don't have them for the amount of time that you have, you know, ones that just play basketball. So early on, I try to make sure the ones that just play basketball, get them engaged. You know, we're doing preseason lifts, we're meeting in the gym in the morning to get some workouts in, and starting to build that bond early on. You know, we did pumpkin carving at Halloween and some stuff like that. So then once we get our players now from the other sports. We have fall soccer and volleyball players, so we're waiting for those teams to finish up so we can get the rest of our team together before we start games. Then it's like kind of a crash course to get everybody on board.
Right.
But I think the buy-in comes from them. I think it's because they want to be successful and they know that it's going to take a little bit of a road to get there. But the thing about my team and our record isn't everything that we want it to be, but they don't quit. And it's something where you could see teams that aren't successful just kind of throw in the bag a little bit. And we're not doing that. So for me, like, I know that the buy-in is there because they're still fighting. So.
Yeah. So this weekend, tomorrow,
Yeah.
you're heading off to Penn State Berks.
Yeah.
Defeated them here.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe a month ago.
Yeah, it's more.
So what are you seeing? What are you thinking?
Yeah, actually, I pulled up the film this morning from the last time we played them, and we're doing some different things than what we did when we played them. So that's always good for me to keep it fresh for us, so that they're not able to prepare as much as maybe they could if we were doing the same exact stuff. So we changed up some of the things we're doing. Berks, and I feel for them. They got a 6-person roster right now, and I get that, and I understand how that feels. And we're just going to go out and try to play our game. And for us, success for me is, are we improving every time we step on the court? And we have an opportunity to win a game, but we got to play well. If we don't play well, it's something where they also have that opportunity, So we got to come out and execute the things we need to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then after that, the season will be kind of wrapping up. We're
Yeah.
going to have, is there one game left?
Yeah,
Two
one
games left
after that, yeah.
So when you get to this point in the season, we kind of mentioned it as far as like how you're maintaining the buy-in and everyone's kind of coming a little bit closer together. Now
Right.
it's finishing up. So how do you kind of keep everyone focused on, like, I know we only have one game left,
Yeah,
maybe
right.
we're not postseason eligible, but we really
Yeah.
need to focus and finish strong. How do you kind of keep that mentality and not let people, just me, like
Yeah.
naturally will begin to kind of not slouch.
Yeah, I think I had mentioned earlier, I'm still talking to those coaches that I worked with, and I had we call it Coffee with Coach. I had a Zoom with my mentor Jeanette about, there's the frustration on my side too. Like this isn't going how I want it to go either, And one of the things that she said to me is, you got to keep it fresh, So we have in the last 2 weeks we put in some different things. We put in a box and one. We put in a 1-3-1. We've done some things where we're keeping practice interesting and fresh and fun, and trying to keep it not the same old thing every day, And I think that that's something where you have to just take it on the chin a little bit, but also like let's keep getting better so that we're getting better for next year as well. So yeah, I mean we have played a game last night. Morrisville is very good, top 2 in our conference. They play a style. They're up in us a little bit defensively. They spread you out offensively. We put in a brand new defense 2 days ago, and I was very pleased with how we played it. And I told that to the team last night. I was very proud of them, and they were able to adjust to some things. And Morrisville still made shots because that's what they do. But I think that we executed what we wanted to do overall on the defensive end. I thought we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, for sure. So after everything kind of wraps up, I
Yeah.
know you kind of dive right into, or a little bit more than you already are, dive
Yeah.
right into the
Yeah, right.
recruiting
Yeah,
and
yeah.
kind of getting ready for next season,
Yeah,
even though we
for sure.
all have other responsibilities
Yeah,
going on.
right.
Talk a little bit about like the recruitment trail and kind of what you're maybe looking forward to. Or?
Yeah, I think for us right now, we're just trying to keep getting better. So for us, it's do we keep working on getting better players in? And the thing for me that's been really successful for us so far is if you're a high school player and you play more than one sport, you have that opportunity here to do that also. So if I can tie in a player who is a soccer player also plays basketball and wants to try to do those things in college, we can do that here. There are other colleges where they'll say, well, you're going to have to choose, and that's something where we're not into that. So that's something where I think like any recruit that if we're talking to you and you're interested in Wells and you're unsure if you can play both, the answer is yes. So that's something that we very much want everybody to know as far as recruiting goes is that, but we want players that have played, you know what I mean? Like we want to make sure that it's not something where we're not trying to restart programs. We're trying to improve on ones that are established. So, but yeah, it's one of the great things that kind of happened through COVID pandemic was the addition to online viewing for games, where before you're hopping in a car and you're burning the oil on both ends, and
That's right.
you got to
Driving
practice
school
and
to
you
school,
drive to
trying to
school.
make
Yeah,
multiple
for sure.
nights in a game or games in a night.
I can see a lot of these players on YouTube. You know, their school has a channel or on Huddle. They have an account, and so that's been really helpful for me to just kind of touch base with some of the players, as far as just like, oh, I can catch your game from my desk, you know, or from home or whatever, and chat with you about it afterwards. Still, like I've been there. I found that that's been a really helpful tool. So you're just kind of, you still want to have that face to face, obviously, but it allows me to see more games than maybe I would if I was trying to get out to physically be at a couple
Right.
games here and there. So.
Yeah. So everything we've talked about has been great, and I mean, I think that was a little bit more serious stuff. I have some kind of like quick hitter
Yeah,
questions
yeah.
that people can maybe get to know you a little bit.
Sure.
I might know some of these answers already, but
Okay.
so first one, you're known a little bit on campus, or at least your office is, for like a hub for snacks.
Yeah, right.
So like,
Snack table.
but personally for you, what's
Yeah.
the favorite snack? What's the go-to snack?
Oh man, the gummies. I think the gummies
Gummies.
are everybody's favorite.
The Welch's
The
gummies, or
Welch's
what do you
gummies.
think?
We do the red berries and cherries or something like that. Cherries and berries, I think, is the one that's the go-to. Yeah, that's a great snack because it's easy and sweet and delicious. And we like the
You
gummies.
get like a tiny boost of
You
energy
know,
from
yeah,
it.
and my go-to snack, that's the team's go-to. You stop in for some gummies
I
from
do.
time
Yeah,
to time.
sometimes you just need the gummy. Yeah.
I'm a big cheese stick person. Go for the mott stick.
The
pull
mott stick,
apart.
yeah. You
string
pull it
cheese.
apart or you
Oh,
bite
yeah.
it?
No. You got.
bite it.
I
I
get
bite
at
it.
least 2 pulls, and then
No.
yeah.
I can't.
So
pull
those
it.
are the ones I try to make sure we have in the office. Is the
Okay.
cheese stick for me and the gummies for everybody else.
And this doesn't really count as a snack, but
Yeah.
we're both, big coffee heads.
Oh yeah,
So yeah, I guess that could be a snack, but
it feels like a snack.
yeah,
Yeah.
the way we drink it.
I know.
So this one is kind of two. Favorite either TV show or movie or both.
Oh boy.
I know it's not like a huge part of your life.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a tough one. So TV show, I'm really big into the Chicago series, like Chicago Med,
Chicago PD, like, oh,
Chicago
boy.
Fire. There's 3 of them. They're on Wednesdays, NBC, if anybody's watching.
God.
Yeah, so that's like my go-to like binge at home, but it's not a binge because it's like it's on once a week and then I just watch it.
Yeah.
Whatever. Movies, boy, that's a tough one. I'm not a huge movie watcher. I know that I will tell you Spider-Man.
I was gonna say, I know you just knocked out all the
Just-
Spider-Man
I
ones
actually,
over
yeah,
break.
we hit out the Spider-Man. We went on your recommendation to the movies and watched the latest one, but watched the other 2 first because you can't just go out of order. Yeah, those are pretty good. The Marvel ones are good. I like the Marvel movies. Those
Yeah,
are
the
pretty good.
superhero movies,
Yeah,
of
for
course. So if you're not coaching
Yeah.
or maintaining the facilities around
Yeah.
here, hanging out with your family,
Right.
what are some hobbies?
Is there
what else are you
time
doing?
for
Yeah,
that, right?
exactly.
No,
Yeah, maybe you have a
yeah.
couple hours or
Shoot.
a half an hour free.
Take
What
a
are you doing?
nap here? No, I'm a huge golfer. Like
We
I
have the-
love all things.
Shout
golf.
out the Wells College
Wells
Golf
College
Course.
Golf Course.
Okay.
I love all things golf. I love watching it. I love playing it. I love watching people play it. It's definitely something that I teach a basic golf class here twice a year. I enjoy that a ton. And through that, my golf gals, golf ladies, we hang out a ton after and grab dinner and stuff. And that's been also the fun part of it too. Is the social part of it is just meeting new people. And I've met a lot of really great community members through that here. Mayor of Aurora 2022, and this is my official.
Oh, are we announcing right now?
Might be. No. But I've met a lot of great people where I'll be out on my front porch in the summertime, and the church is right across the street, and
Okay.
a bunch of the ladies come out and wave and say hi, and I just like being involved in the community and knowing people and stuff. So
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
pillar of the community.
I am a pillar of the community. I try to be. Anyway.
And then the last one.
Yeah.
You know it's coming. We got to get into it.
Uh-oh.
Favorite sports team?
I'm a Bills fan, man. Like,
I know you're a Bills fan.
go Bills. No, it's a big.
Heartbreak,
I mean,
anguish,
Yeah,
pain.
I'm still upset. I don't know if you've noticed. I haven't worn my Bills gear since that big loss. I don't know if you've noticed
I've
it or
noticed.
not. Yeah, because I'm a big, Victory Monday. I got it on Mondays. I wear it on Fridays. I wear it every day, basically. Bills fan through and through, and I'm happy for your Bengals. So I hope we get the dub.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Get the dub.
That's
But
nerve-wracking.
who day is that? Is that your thing there?
Yeah, I don't know who wrote that
I
on the
don't know,
board.
but
That
it
must have
seems
been
like it
a
fits.
Bengals fan.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't know.
But yeah, I'm pumped for the Super Bowl. It should be a good game, but I'm pretty upset about my Bills. But
Are-
we're
are-
ready for next year, though.
Are we concerned that you lost the offensive coordinator? And
I am.
somebody
Well,
else?
I mean, you're stressing me out right now, man. No, I'm happy with Ken Dorsey. He was quarterback's coach for the last couple of years, so Josh knows him well, and he knows what we've been running, and I'm a part of the team. Bills Mafia right here.
Mafia, yeah, is part of the team.
Bills
Yeah,
Mafia. But I haven't done any of the table drops or any of that other stuff, or nothing dangerous on my
If
part.
they ever win the Super Bowl, will you go through a table?
No. That seems dumb. But people do things like that's not what Bill's Mafia.
It happens every week out there.
I do appreciate the donation game that the Mafia throws out there, and then we have a lot of people that follow suit. I know that your Bengals did some stuff a couple years ago, and the Chiefs donated to Josh Allen's pediatric fund there at Oshie. So some good people out there.
Yeah, for sure. Any final notes from you?
I'm going to tell you I really like working with you.
Oh, hey, thanks.
Yeah, thanks for making this happen. We're really
course,
excited
yeah,
about
we're-
the direction that our sports communication is going at Wells College.
Yes,
You're in
thank
the
you.
lead, so-
We're looking to do more stuff like this.
Yeah, it's a
Hopefully
lot of fun. I know,
some quicker post-game stuff. But
Yeah, our players are amped. They love the social media stuff, and they're really excited about the direction that we're headed in as far as communication goes. So thanks, kudos to you, my friend, for
thank you.
picking up for us.
Of course.
Yeah.
So that'll do it. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Coach Tara Ruckh,
Happy to
and
be here.
we'll be back probably next week with another coach or an athlete. We'll see. But thanks, everyone.
Bye bye.